don't think this topic is being touched on enough come this fight week, that really we got robbed of a better fight on both sides of the pendulum, PVC and Top Rank. In actuality, Terence Crawford and Danny Garcia should have went on and fought. Then we wouldn't have to choose between a bullshit free Fox fight and a bullshit pay-per-view. We would have had a legit pay-per-view on both sides. They could have mixed the cards up and did it that way. But we back, Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for jumping back in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. And once again, I'm going to continue to expose this shit, man. The shit that these PBC fighters be talking. Okay, they offered Danny Garcia $3 million, I think it was, right? I don't know if it was going to be pay-per-view between Garcia and Terence Crawford, and I don't know if they were going to give Danny the same $5 that they fought for Amir Khan, but I felt that Danny was at least worth that $5. But at the end of the day, Danny goes on and say, well, I made $5 million plenty of times in my career. But how many times has Danny Garcia been on pay-per-view if that was the play? If he could negotiate and got $5 million, if they gave Khan $5 million, why not get Danny $5 million, right? You have all this opinion about Crawford. Your pops called him a nappy-headed nigga. He said he cheated on his wife and all this other BS, right? You said, oh, you beat him in the amateurs and then you was runner-up to him and lost to him. You got all this opinion, but at the end of the day, when did boxing become about who got the most money? When did boxing become about, oh, I made that 5 or 6 times, or I made that before? Why ain't it just about going in there and whooping ass and just getting back to basics and fighting? You know what I'm saying? Because right now the fans got robbed of a event that we should have gotten. We shouldn't even been choosing. Instead of fighting each other on April 20th, they going head up against each other on separate networks. One on ESPN pay-per-view, one on Fox. It just continues to show you how ridiculous and how ignorant boxing has become. It's become a show of financial gain. Oh, I made this amount of money, or I got this on the back end. Quite frankly, who the hell want to see Danny Garcia versus Granados? Nobody. Who really want to see Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan? Nobody. But who want to see Danny Garcia versus Terence Crawford? And the reason that's significant because it breaks the ice between Top Rank and PBC. And obviously they said that Top Rank went around PBC and went out to negotiate with Danny Garcia's father and manager and coach, Angel Garcia. The point of it is this: they don't want to fight Terence, and that's the same excuse that each premier boxing champion fighter is getting. Either it's Danny Garcia, I'm getting that money, or it's Earl Spence, you on the wrong side of the street. Keith Thurman, he'll sit there and talk shit, but when has he actually thought about getting in the ring with Bud? And people say, "Oh, you heard what Keith Thurman said? Who's Jeff Horn?" Nobody. He ain't even fought Amir Khan yet. He doing all this talking though. But why not just let your hands speak? If this dude ain't a real welterweight, why not fight him? Sean Porter, he basically saying they buddies, and if they fight, it'll be because him and Terence want to fight. But he don't want that fight neither. You know, Danny Garcia could have went over there and proved something. People said, well, Danny coming off a loss and whoop-de-whoop. Shit, money talk, bullshit walk. You had an opportunity to be on pay-per-view. You had an opportunity to break the ice. You said you beat him in the amateurs. He said he beat you once. Let's see who the better pro. You dudes fighting on the same day, April 20th. You was going to fight at the Barclay Arena. And obviously they moved it out to California because they didn't want to really make the media choose between sides of New York, Brooklyn, or going down to Manhattan. So it made it more sense to take it out to the StubHub Center and have the West Coast media conveniently just stay west and the East Coast media conveniently stay east. You know what I'm saying? It just made that much more fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? As far as them moving the fight to a different coast. So I definitely agree with that. But at the same time, you know, why ain't nobody really putting Danny Garcia feet to the fire? Because he a ho-ho right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to fight Spence. Why not fight Crawford today? Okay, you came off a loss. If you believe you beat Keith Thurman, you believe you beat Sean Porter, what is it you getting in there with Bud and fighting on pay-per-view? You may never get another opportunity to fight on pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? That opportunity may never come. Shit, you may never get a title shot again. What if you lose to Granados? What if you don't get Sean Porter for the title? What if you don't get Keith Thurman for a title shot? What if you continue to refuse to fight Errol Spence for a title? That's how you get a title shot and a pay-per-view shot, something that you never did. What if you beat Terence Crawford and you bring the WBO title back to the welterweight division? Now guess who was in the driver's seat? You are. You got the one title that's toughest to get. You know? But then again, that's just what PBC do. And that's what some fighters do. I ain't going to just label PBC. But that's what just some fighters do now. It's become a stunting show. Boxing has become a rich man's sport when it's a poor man's sport. Oh, I'm making this much money and he can't do this and he can't do that. Had Bob Arum been doing the same thing and he had the 3 titles on his side and the one fighter on that side, they'd been crucifying Bob Arum. They'd be lying saying Al Heyman would have made the fight happen. You know, they'd have been crucifying that man. But then again, you got guys who don't have titles, like Danny Garcia, at one point Sean Porter. Guys who don't have titles, once again, that passed up title opportunities. That just shows you how fucked up the sport of boxing is to this point. It's so many titles, and you're going to guarantee another opportunity. You know how they get these title shot opportunities? Because it's about money. You know what I'm saying? It's about the money. And that's what it is. It's about the money. They pay these sanctionable bodies, put money in their back pocket, they make these fights happen. Danny Garcia passed up Errol Spence title shot a couple years ago. A couple years ago he passed it up. So did Sean Porter. Didn't want to regain his title, but was willing to fight Kell Brook if Kell Brook had regained the title. Right? Danny Garcia, he lose a vacant title shot. After he lost his title a couple years ago to Keith Thurman, had a tune-up versus Brandon Rios, got an opportunity at a vacant shot by sitting there not doing shit versus Sean Porter, waiting on Sean Porter and waiting on Keith Thurman to get stripped. You lose a close fight in some people's decision. You claim you won the fight. Then you get an opportunity to get the hardest belt to get in the WBO and fight a guy that you claim that you beat in the amateurs and sound like you confident enough to beat him in the pros. You could have came to PBC and been the king. If you were able to go get that WBO title and bring it back and unify with Errol Spence, unify with Keith Thurman, you're going to get every fight you want. You're going to get all the bread. You're going to get the A side. You already got a decent name. But it come to this. It come to a dude from Philly who got to move his fight from New York all the way to California, where he ain't got no pool, no pub out in California, no nothing. Last time he fought out that area was on the Canelo. A major fight was on the Canelo-Floyd card, when he fought Matisse. I don't really remember Danny Garcia going out west a lot. So you rather go out west in a meaningless fight, even if you're making $1, $2, $3 million, you'd rather stay out west, make a couple $3 million instead of go get a title, go chase history, gain another title. Shut it up. You could kind of shut the argument up. Who was the better 140-pound title holder? Who the better fighter? Danny or Terence? Who had the better run? Who the better fighter? It'd have been a way better build-up. And if they felt like, they could get Danny more money, they could have did a co-promotion, ESPN, Showtime, or Fox. But yet again, Danny Garcia, he's a chicken shit. He chicken shit. This motherfucker rather go fight Granados than fight Terence Crawford on pay-per-view. He may never headline a pay-per-view. May never do it. He'd rather be good with that than face Terence Crawford. But they all got something bad to say about Crawford. But when it come down to getting in the ring and knuckling up, they hide behind the business. But I thought PBC was their own bosses. I'm going to continue to expose this shit, man. They ain't going to like it. But guess what? I ain't got to go interview these fighters. I don't need to ask Swanson Media, PBC for a fucking pass or nothing like that. I ain't got to go to Top Rank and ask them for nothing. I got my opinion. Ain't nobody paying me to say this or say that. These dudes out here biased as hell, like somebody giving them a check, and they might be getting a check to dick suck PBC. But then again, you got the dude from Fight Hype, Marco Rivero, that's the one that's handling the scores on Fox. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing shit for these brothers on the channel to be capping for them. But hey, it's Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, or a video request. Appreciate everybody for showing love. One time for the one time. Y'all know what the business is. We go.